Oh my gosh. Hello. Hi everyone. How are you? Oh my god. Been trying to get the studio ready today. Was a living brr. It just didn't want to cooperate. Nothing wanted to cooperate. It's because I've got so much going on. Not just this week, but it's ongoing because I have to change things in the studio to adapt to the stream. And ideally, I would have two studios, one for the stream and one for music and everything else. But that is what it is. And I digress, and I'm starting early. Oh, it's not milk. God, I'm going to get toasty after this. That's so good. That is my own mix that I just made. It's fantastic. But hi, Claudio BL. Oh, nice to see you here, Claudio. Nice. Wendy, Lalo, Jake, Mai, Alex. Oh boy, it's scrolling by. JP, Angela, Jay the teacher, Farmacia's in the house. Awesome. ¿Cómo estás? Carlos Mode, Stefan, Jay the teacher, and Todd. And it's still scrolling. Rita, nice. Oh man, me too. I hope everyone is having a good week, says Claudio, and I hope everyone is having a good week. I know that I have not had a great week. But I'm very happy that I'm here with you, because that just makes it so much better. So anyway, let's get to the news portion of the thing. So I'm glad, Lalo. I'm glad you're having a good week. So I've got some good stuff for you. Well, interesting stuff for you tonight. When it comes to the music part, the stream. Like I said, I've been having trouble with streaming stuff. Yeah. Well, one thing I'm going to ask all of you is to give me some honest feedback after the stream. Really, like, give me some honest feedback of what you think I should be doing on the streams. Because as of late, I should say, I've been having a bit of a strange, I don't know, I don't want to call it a crisis, but it's like this. I'm putting my hands in too many baskets and none of the baskets are getting full. And to me, that's like danger zone, when I can't get into the creative stuff. And, so it's been weird to get back into things. I'm frustrated because this part for the CDs still hasn't arrived. And I'm kind of mad that that's happened, because they're just sitting in the garage and I just can't send them out because I'm waiting on stupid things that don't really matter that much, but I have no choice. So that's one. Two, I have to get back to the book now that the art is 100% curated. What else? But I've been working a lot, meaning that I've been painting every day. I've been doing music every day. I have been I'm going to tell you what I've been doing. Sorry, I digress. God, that is so good. If you want to know what that is my version. I call this drink right here is a pumpkin spice latte spiked. It's pumpkin spice eggnog, cinnamon, cream, and a nice healthy dosage of bourbon, straight up bourbon. So good. Tastes amazing. If I drink 2 of those, you wouldn't want to see me on the stream. But it is quite delicious. So anyway, because I still have the taste of that in my mouth, I'm like, that's so good. I'm acting stupid already. So I've been working on a lot of things because the album is fresh out still. So I have to do a lot of back end work that people don't see. So I've had to be wearing different hats as of late, which I'm not so fond of, but I have to wear them. So all this legal stuff going on with peace for next year, because that's something that could happen next year maybe. So we're just trying to figure all the loose ends on that. And that's kind of like it's a weird, like, I actually don't like concentrating on it at all because I'm over it. But because it is my intellectual property, I feel a need to work on that stuff. And it's, things that I've had to do. But in the interim, an interesting thing happened, which I realized, of course, that although certain peace songs cannot be re-released or remixed at the moment, there is a version of Living in Oblivion that could be remixed. So I took the liberty of making some stems, which sometime next week I will unleash if I'm lucky, for the 1996 version, which is a re-recording, so it doesn't fall under any of their stupid jurisdictions. And so I can freely release that. And I was listening to the vocals and I was like, I think there's some cool stuff in here that are not in the original, and it would be fun for people to play around with. So maybe we'll start with that a little early. Wendy says, Patreon Discord may stretch you too thin. Yeah, like I said, I've been taking that side of it really slowly because, well, I miss out on a lot of things. Like, for example, this week I missed out on Tezos Tuesdays, which is something I really love. I didn't even collect this week. I don't even think I collected art this week. Did I? I can't even remember because I've been so busy. That I've had a friend that whose mom is in hospice, and that's kind of been on my mind a lot because she's a close friend of ours, and so if you're listening, Audra, thinking about you and your mom. So I've got a lot of stuff weighing on me, good, bad, in between. So it's been a kind of a rough week, but Carlos says, yeah, I agree. I don't know who posted the first part. I agree with having guests on the stream from time to time. Danya would be awesome. She would. I don't know if I could convince her to get on the stream. I don't know. I should try. Wonder what that would be like. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know. I guess I can ask. But yeah, definitely having other people on is going to be a plus. So that's something I've been thinking about doing. Musically, I can't play other things because YouTube, throws everything out. So I would have to do a radio station thing and ditch the streams with, cameras and whatnot to do it. So I thought about that over the weekend. And I've always gotten DMs on it too. Why don't you do a Mixcloud and then you can play whatever you want and you can be a DJ and you can, all this stuff. And it's fun, but it's not what I do. Like, my main focus is to make songs, record them, release them. And I'm still so behind in all the releases. So you're going to see some interesting changes coming down the pike, which, will be interesting, I hope. But anyway, so that's part of the news. I'm going to play something and then I'll come back and then we'll talk some more about newsworthy items, and then we'll get into tonight's topic, which is a strange one because I've been mulling it over in my head. Oh, Listen Show 2.0 would be nice. But see, I can't do it. Like, I mean, just to answer your thing, I'd love to do a Listen Show, but the difference between the Listen Show back in 2000, when were we doing it, Steve? Is Steve in the house? I thought Steve was in the house. I thought I saw him. When we were doing it, it was the early 2000s, and quite frankly, it was done in a way that really was under the radar because you had to go to a specific website to see it. So if I did anything like that, it would have to fall under one of those things, like I said. So, it's not easy to do a show like that and have it on YouTube. where all the eyes are, or on Facebook where all the eyes are, Instagram and so forth. It just doesn't work. So yeah, I wish, but I think I'm going to see if I can do more guests. So I just have to kind of figure out how to pipe that camera in, because I remember that was a nightmare the last time I tried it. It worked, but really, I'm really asking all your suggestions. Save them for the comments when the video is posted, and feel free to put it on X or Instagram underneath the flyer, whatever you like. Ways to improve the show. I would like to expand on it in some ways. I know what would make you happy, but I don't know that I could do that every week, which is like to do a live set. It's not feasible. But I promise I'm going to try to do at least one a month. So that's something I'm going to try to do. There's Steve. Listen to show must have been 2004 or so. And yeah, and the way we did it was kind of odd. We would encode it as a flash file. So it wasn't easy to steal any of the songs. So we really didn't get dinged. But even publishing the listen shows on YouTube has been horrendous. Every time I've tried it, YouTube strikes me, and I have to try to maintain the channel. I don't want to get kicked off of everywhere. That I'm trying to do my best for ABOX, and that's not going to help. So it is. Those are some of the rough things that I can't do. But having a guest and having topics is a different story. So that is something I am interested in. I'd like to see that expand. But anyway, I'm going to take a sip of my wonderful drink. God, that is good. You don't even know how good that is. And I'm going to play a song that was requested. Oh, there it is. Antonio on Instagram requested this song. This is I'm On My Way from The Universe is Expanding. I'll turn on the visuals, and then when we come back, I'll start talking about shows that are coming up and other things that are coming down the pike, because there's some interesting good news coming down. But anyway, here we go.
Move to the bottom of this desperation. Give love a chance to increase your chances. I'm on my way. Turn back to life. I'm on my way. You trick me to breathe. I'm on my way. You break me again, just like you never do. I am me as you are me, and someday we will all be free. Up on the back of a red
I forgot that ending is there. Technically goes into a different song, but oh well. I still like that piano part. So yeah, someone asked about the guitars. There was 3. I said 2, but now that I thought about it and I heard the ending, there was 3. I played 1. Paul played the other, which was the main guitar, and then the last thing is a guitar going through a pedal of some sort of tremolo, and that was Paul doing a just a strum. But anyway, yeah, it's funny. So thank you, Antonio, for requesting that one on Instagram. Hope that made you happy, mate. Well, thank you, Wendy. She says on Meta, I love how the cube graphic is right over your eye on the logo. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Ooh, Todd asked a nice question here. So it's question time. Question time before news, which is good. I like that. I like when you guys ask me questions. It is so much easier for me when I'm asked questions, especially good ones. Speaking of good ones, I was just on the New Wave podcast, and it should be airing soon, and I will, post the links and all that. But Todd asks, does anything in the studio go on the road or all separate gear? Good question. It's sort of all separate gear, but it's all like scaled down. Like, for example, oh, you can't see it, but yeah, I can't even point that. Yeah, maybe I could. Hold on. We can do some sort of magic. Maybe. Yeah, we've just lost the studio cam. But this will prove to be interesting. Let's see if it works. So I will point and I will explain. So this guy right here is my Ableton controller, my APC, my big one. I have a small version of this that is basically this section, which controls show stuff, and a little keyboard, which is about yay big, that goes with me on tour. And on that keyboard, I have knobs which do what my MS-20 does. So, although the studio... Nice. Wow, I didn't know I could do this. This is cool. Look. Ooh, the creepy doll. Yeah, this is kind of neat. I forgot I could do this with this cam. My little robots. Oh, nice. I'm wasting time, but it's okay. It's day glow. But anyway, yeah, the synth cam. So we'll put it down so that I don't keep playing with the synth cam as I'm perfectly drank. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. But yeah. I do take like a smaller version of my rig. Actually, what's missing in the studio that is usually here and goes on the road with me all the time and stays home is my machine, because my machine controller is a big part of the show. I use it for everything. But I also use it here in the studio, so it does wind up coming home. I've been thinking about getting a second one now, just to keep one in the studio all the time and one on the road all the time. And then, of course, I have other controllers and things that are put away that I dig out of the closet. Lalo says, Claude, why was there a legal problem with Peace but not Worth? Well, technically speaking, Worth is not exactly out of the legal problems. But I'll explain it like this. For those of you that are interested, Worth is the second Anything Box album that was recorded in Germany but never came out ever because, but it is on Spotify and it is on certain places where you can find it, but it is on Spotify, so that's a good thing. But I'll explain. The reason why Worth didn't, or is a dubious subject, is because they never released it. And by not releasing it, they broke their contract with me. Had they put it out even for a month before, ABOX and Sony parted company, it would also be under their control. But because they passed on the album, they basically rejected it. Those masters came back to me. So I think, oh no, that was fun, Todd. I wanted to do it. I think it's going to be like something I do all the week, every time now. I'm going to figure out how to clamp that camera on so I can take it down and do weird things just because. In fact, I may show you my collection of weird robots in a minute, but I'm kidding. But actually, I might not be kidding. But yeah. So the legal situation with Worth is kind of in a weird, dubious spot. It's not as much of a problem, and as soon as peace is returned, and that area of the copyright becomes, comes back to us, basically anything in that era, anything that they might have wanted to control will come back to me too. So it's sort of, it is what it is. But it was a good question. Part of me is not sure why they never attacked that one, but it's probably because it was never in a store and there was nothing to sell as far as they're concerned. Peace is still the one that they, want to keep, although not for long. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like right on my windowsill. Wendy asked about a robot. But, so anyway, back to the news. So I do have shows coming up. Once again, just putting this out there, but making it clear here that, sorry. Yeah, it's strong. In November, I have shows coming up. November 2nd is going to be Clifton, New Jersey, which is going to be awesome. Towards the middle to the end of November, those dates are somewhat finalized. Some tickets have gone on sale, some have not. So I don't want to quote the dates yet, but I can tell you at least the cities. I know it's going to be San Antonio. I know for sure there's going to be an El Paso date in there somewhere. And there's going to be a date in Corpus Christi. That's right, Corpus Christi. And there will be one in Houston, if I didn't mention it already, which should be all in that same time period. It's usually like when I'm the busiest is around Thanksgiving time, which is kind of cool. I'm very happy and very, very honored that's my tradition. I get to spend Thanksgiving Day holidays with all of you. And I'm still digressing. So, but yeah. So I have shows coming up, which is good. I'm grateful that the shows are in November because October is completely going to be about getting the book done. And I'm pretty sure by this next coming week, the final things that I need to send out, those CDs and all the vinyl and all that other stuff, will arrive. Otherwise, I'm going to have like an emergency situation on my hands. But it looks like everything's on its way and it should be on time. But it wound up being about a week late. So we'll see. So far, I'm being told that it should be within this next week. So we're going to be okay. Just word to the wise, always add 2 weeks to whatever time frame you have if you're putting something out, because things will come up that you didn't know are going to come up. In my case, it was they ran out of boxes for 12-inch singles from where I was getting them from, but I had already ordered them. They're already on their way in a truck. And, different vinyl stuff. And the CDs have like a special thing that I have, and that's coming from China, and they promised it. It's shipped, but they promised it way, way earlier than it arrived. So it was supposed to arrive on the 15th of September, and here we are. We're almost at the 1st of October, and it's on its way. I've been tracking the package, but still, it's like it makes my nerves go crazy when things don't happen the way they're supposed to. And I'm a control freak, which makes it even harder. But anyway, so the other thing that I was working on this week that I started to mention earlier was I took the 1996 version of Living in Oblivion and I stem separated it as much as I could. It's funny because the old mix in and of itself, I don't have, because that was on an MPC and all the instruments and all the samples are long gone, which is sad, but at least I have a way of extracting the vocals, and I was able to do that, and it was really cool. So expect the unexpected starting next week, because all these weird things are going to be happening during October. Steven on YouTube says, are you going to bring shirts and beanies? Well, beanies, no. Shirts, yes. I still haven't found a good beanie manufacturer to make my beanie with a star on it. Like, I swear to God, the funniest, dumbest things. I have not found one that will do it the way I want. So, it is what it is. Sorry. But yeah. So, all is well, all is good. So this next one that I'm going to play is, so I got a request for a demo, which I'm going to play a little later, or probably during the next segment. But whenever I found one, I would find the other, if that makes any sense. And I found that there was another version of both these songs, slightly different mixes. And I thought, I don't think I've played these particular two. So I'm going to play one of them now. So this one wasn't requested. This is just, Claude quested. For sure. Gosh, that chat. Whoa. So anyway, gonna play a song, put on the visuals. And this is called The Lost Generation. This is a demo, a version 2 demo.
Broadcast your emoticons. Synchronize your touch screen. Learn to be a no one as your inside scream. Gonna get away, gonna get away, gonna get away from all the noise that's coming. Gotta get away, gonna get away, gonna get away from all the noise that's coming. Gotta get away, gonna get away, gonna get away from all the noise that's coming. Gotta get away, gonna get away, gonna get away from all the noise that's coming in. lost generation. We are the lost generation. This is the lost generation. You are the last generation. Swipe away your teardrops. Synchronize your touch screen.
Forgot about that ending. It's funny. Yeah, it's from that Distances era. It's one of the ones that didn't make it. Um, Maybe too edgy, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I found that in another one that someone had requested, and I found an older demo of a song. But I'll play that in a little bit. Yeah, it could happen. Oh, just you wait. So this is. I'm glad you brought this stuff up. I don't know why. Like it's like apropos. So I don't know that you guys know this about my personality, but if you don't know it by now, you will never, never, never know me. Something like that goes. But oh, thanks, Zach. I love watching and listening to you while I'm working. That means I'm not boring? I hope so. I'm trying not to be. It's hard not to be boring when you're in a tiny little room by yourself and you're like, why am I speaking? Like, why am I speaking? So, no. It's perfect. I loved it. It's all good. If that makes you happy, that makes me happy. So, if you guys don't know this about me, I get into like oddball tangents of technology, and then I just follow those rabbit holes to wherever they lead me, and eventually it turns into music or something. It inevitably leads to new things. So one of the things that I've been doing is I've got to make teaser videos for the album, not full-blown music videos, but teasers. And it's part of a plan. And I'll explain as it comes along, you'll see. But been wanting to get into good old school analog CRT, video distortion stuff. And recent acquisitions have been a small video synth and a really strange capture device that basically turns my old camcorder into a digital camcorder, which is kind of cool. So now I have a secondary camera to take out with me on shoots, but I get the benefit of it shooting like an old school camcorder, but I'm actually digitally recording onto an SD card. And I can video process it as it's recording, which is kind of cool. So I've been doing like these weird like side things. And this last week, because this is what I do when I take a break from. So this is my life, just so that you know. This is how my life works. When I work on, let's say, album stuff for a few hours, and then I'm like, okay, I need to take a break, a 20-minute break. And this is how I take a break. I don't sit down and eat something or watch TV or something. It's like I go to this book where it's like R&D stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to learn about Blender. So that half hour becomes my half hour to learn something about Blender or Premiere or some aspect of a program that I've been wanting to study. That is how I take a break. Some would say that is not the correct way to take a break, and I probably would agree. But this is what I do. So yeah, I've been getting into like video synthesis lately just to start out, and I'm going to do some weird things because half the stuff in the book is half digital, half analog, for lack of a better word, physical, I would say. And some of the NFT things that I have planned for the book, which will begin as soon as the book starts coming in, um, will be ongoing. So although I'm missing a lot of Tezos Tuesdays, that is not going to be the case the minute these CDs go out, and it's not going to be the case the minute the book comes in. Once the books start rolling in, a whole new era begins. In fact, it's something I'm looking forward to. So I'm kind of building up a catalog of things, and then it'll just be like, so I'm just going to be like putting stuff out more regularly is the thing, But I'm glad that you guys brought up the whole issue of peace and worth, because it falls under this weird quandary of tonight's topic, which is, I don't know if you saw the topic, but I'm going to just show you the intro page for a second so you guys that are just tuning in realize that there is a topic. The topic of tonight's stream is protecting the Internet Archive. And as we're coming up almost on the first hour, believe it or not, I find this to be a very interesting topic for me to discuss because I have confrontational views on it. Confrontational, controversial, conflicted. All of these are apropos to the topic of tonight. So for those of you that don't know what the Internet Archive is, not only am I going to show you, I will show you what the Internet Archive is in case most of you don't know. The Internet Archive is this, which is the Wayback Machine, which is probably how most of you know it. And the Internet Archive, which, by the way, here, I'll be nice and I'll put the link in the chat. Ooh, there you guys are. I just put the link in there. So the Internet Archive, oops, got ahead of myself there, basically is a place where the Wayback Machine exists. And I don't know if you guys know about the Wayback Machine, but it's probably the part that's the most important to protect. But basically, as the site says, the Internet Archive is a non-profit library of millions of free texts, movies, music, software, websites, that's the important one, and more. You can peruse and find a plethora of things that have basically disappeared from the face of the earth. To give you a quick idea, like old-time radio right here. So you could listen to old programs from the 40s and the 50s. Old television shows from, those eras that are far, far gone. The Prelinger Archives, which is an amazing thing. Music. Yeah. Look, even the Grateful Dead has their own section. I wish I had a section there. So anyway, it's very interesting. But the best part of the Internet Archive for me is the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine serves several very cool purposes. One is as ABOX or any band or any company updates their sites, the Wayback Machine archives it. So you can actually see what the anythingbox.com site used to look like back in 1998, which is terrible. And I'm not even going to show you that. But what's cool is some of the links still work. And that's interesting that if the hierarchy of the website is kept throughout the years, I could have actually kept the secrets on the old site and they would have still been downloadable, I found that to be very interesting and worth experimenting with. So that's one thing that it's good for. Now, the bad guys don't like it because if a bad actor company changes their website to hide information that would have incriminated them in a crime, you can go to the Wayback Machine and actually see it. Same goes with tweets. Same goes with posts. It literally archives the entire internet. And I love that. I find that to be fascinating because sometimes I will look something up on a site and I will know that it used to be there, and I can go to the Wayback Machine and then suddenly, go back in time and see it. So, oh yeah, no, Mai says I would go nuts finding vintage magazine ads. Oh my gosh, if you haven't done it already, you should. It's one of my favorite places to go for sampling because there's a lot of records and old tapes from the 1930s and 40s that are in the public domain, and you can freely use them and do things with them. But not everything there is copyright free. So hence where the conflict comes in. So for example, they were recently sued by the major labels. That's an ongoing lawsuit because this is a funny one to me. The major labels, get this, the major labels want to sue the Internet Archive to the tune of about $400 million because they dared to archive 78 RPM records, which to this day, the visits to each record individually is probably 2 or 3 plays a day for the whole world. So no one is really looking for this stuff, but it's there. So if your kid was doing like a report on music from the 1930s and 40s, it's probably one of the best places to find a digitized version of a 78 RPM record. And it's an amazing thing to find. And the same thing goes for films. This is where you can find like really old, like training films for television, radio, film. And on a technical level, it's, there's nothing there that you need, but it shows our world in a different light. Without this site, these things would not all be in one place and you wouldn't be able to find them. Akon X says old comic, pulp magazines, radio shows, commercial, industrial training films, Wii stuff, including, by the way, old software. I found a piece of software once that I was looking for forever that was way discontinued, and I found it there. And I was very happy because if it's not available anywhere else and no one's selling it, why shouldn't you have access to it? Which is where the conflict comes in, because I do understand the point of view that copyright still needs to be protected, because I do care about my intellectual property. Like, I wouldn't want my stuff to just be freely downloadable unless I wanted it to be. Now, that said, I would prefer that it remain there once I'm gone. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not going to care. So I don't think that any of these artists from the 1920s and 30s care that there's any music that's just sitting there waiting to be played by someone. I know, right? Todd says maybe the music industry should try to have some creative ideas of their own sometimes and actually follow through. Yes. Well, I admire that they want to protect intellectual property, but I think that in this case, they're going about it the wrong way. But I think there's actually a much broader, horrible situation going on. And that's the area that I'm going to explore in tonight's theme. Because like I said, the subject of copyright is contentious because on the one hand, of course I want to have my copyrights. Look at me fighting for my copyrights to my first record that I can't put out. I can't even sell it at shows. I can't do remixes. I can't do any of the stuff. Why? Because I was dumb enough to sign something that gave someone that copyright. So I obviously that means something to me. But by the same token, I wouldn't be giving away my copyright willy-nilly of every single thing that I'm releasing just because, I want a everyone should have it kind of thing. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a hot topic or a contentious subject here, and then I'll play a song. I meet a lot of artists who will say, I don't care about my intellectual property. And quite honestly, I don't believe it, because these very same artists, if I went on there, because I've had the conversation with friends who are artists that have said this to me, I don't care about my IP. And then in that same coffee shop conversation, I'm like, that's so awesome. Can I go on your site, right click everything and mint it for myself? Can I go on your site, right click everything and make my own zine and sell it? No. Why? Because it's mine. I'm like, then you do care about your IP. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't care that I'm going to do it. He goes like, yeah, but you would just be an asshole to do it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. If I don't do it and it's free, everyone who wants to will do it. So there has to be some sort of rules in place for those that want to do it. That's fine. You could say you can freely use my stuff all you want. But on the other hand, you should be able to decide what happens to your IP. You know, now when it comes to, I'm going to tell you right now that obviously at some point I'm going to have to prepare my quote estate. At some point, it's something I have to think about. It's my legacy. I have to think about what happens after I'm gone, right? And the basics of it is that, yes, my children and my family can exploit and sell all my stuff. However, after a certain period, I'm going to have on paper that says the rest of the world can have everything after a certain point, and no one will be able to take that away. I can decide to do that of my own free will. And to me, that is a very valuable thing. And so I think that with some of these families and some of the people that are doing all the suing, it's actually not the families. It's these corporations that decided to buy copyrights really cheap and then just make money suing other people. This is what I really think. But they are unbelievable as to the care that they take in archiving this material, which is why I love the Internet Archive. You know, I mean, on that subject alone, we could go on for a long time, but it's the next bit that I want to talk about. But I'm going to play a song. So this one, sorry, I have to read here before I forget. Oh, this one was, this is for JP. And I've got a second one for JP because, you know, just because. World Without Love. JP wanted to hear the N-Pop World Without Love mix. So here we go. I'll play that, and then when we come back, we'll talk some more about this contentious issue. But stay on the chat. We'll chat on the Moon Chat. Whoops. World Without Love. As I said in the chat, if I had a choice and the choice was this song, the last song that I just played, could be out in the world and I make zero money from it, or it sits on a shelf where a corporation controls it and basically it just gets put away where no one can hear it, I would take the pay cut. I would not just say, okay, we're just going to wait, which is actually what precipitated me trying to release Peace back in 2014, because I was so sick of telling them, like, at least license it back to me. Let's make some sort of deal. And they wouldn't do it. And so they would rather it sit on a shelf than they keep pressing it or doing anything. It took me printing it and putting it on Spotify for them to take it down, by the way, mine was a better version. And then they put it up finally, which is great, but it took me doing something sort of nefarious for them to do it. So in my view, this is the kind of stuff that they're fighting on that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So, but the part that was concerning me the most was this particular article, and I'm going to pull it up. This came out, oh, I don't see the year. I think it was this year, May. So here, let me pull it up real quick. I want you to see it. And I'll put the link in there so that you can read it on your own if you want. But hackers have been mounting attacks on the Internet Archive. And so what's happened is that they were very specifically attacking the Wayback Machine. And I want to read you this one thing that stuck out. Says, while there's no indication that politics has anything to do with this series of attacks, the Internet Archive did note that there have been an increasing number of cyber attacks on libraries as of late. The British Library, the Solano County Library, the Berlin Natural History Museum, and Ontario's London Public Library have all been recent victims. So, hackers, I don't know. I'm finding it hard to believe this. Not that there's not that hackers are attacking. I believe that there's hackers attacking the Internet Archive, but I find it hard to believe that a set of hackers would want to target a place that is nonprofit that is archiving the internet, especially sites on the internet. To me, in my whatever you want to call it, in my weird limited brain, I'm thinking that whoever's hacking the Internet Archive doesn't want the Internet Archive to exist for a reason. And my biggest guess would be that the Wayback Machine has access to too many websites where you could see where things have been changed. And by changed, I mean it could be definitions of words. It could be entire libraries on science. It could be so many different reasons why someone would want this information deleted, and none of it is for a good cause. Even if someone said it's for our own good, I wouldn't believe it. It's not targeting specific material, it's targeting the entire site. So I found that really interesting, that they're going through this trouble where there's all these lawsuits against them, and at the same time, they're being attacked. So to me, there's something else going on here. There's something going on that needs to be looked into. And it's funny. I used to keep an archive of my own of things that I would find, and I would download the websites and keep them on my own hard drive. And I used to love doing that. Yeah, I agree. Todd says most hacktivists. Oh, I like that. I like that term. That's a good title for a song, Hacktivist. Um, Most hacktivists would probably want to keep the information rather than get rid of it. Exactly. I don't think that they would be the ones doing it. If anything, they would be grabbing certain pieces of information to publish it, a la, WikiLeaks and things of that nature. So I can't see a hacker doing it for, quote, ransom. It just seems, to me, that's not usually the first place they go. They usually go to government buildings. They usually go to government institutions where they know there's money. And the ransom stuff usually happens in those kinds of places, hospitals, banks, corporations. It's not going to happen at a nonprofit. I don't see a point. I mean, there could be, I could say there could be bad actors out there to try to purge the knowledge of the world. I suppose that could be the case, but I seriously doubt it. I'm actually thinking it's bad government actors that are doing this. And I think it's pretty coordinated. From what I've seen, the types of attacks that they've had to endure, it points to someone doesn't like that the internet was archived from day one. Something in the old internet scares somebody. And so it makes me want to go seek out the old internet. Do you remember the old internet? How awesome it was, how fun it was, how crazy dangerous it was. Sometimes I really miss the old internet, and you can still see some of it, but I'm saying that it's not the way it used to be. It's a lot more homogenized and controlled now. So, the topic of this conversation was, AOL. Oh my God. I remember that. Gosh, AOL. Yikes. Gosh, I remember that. I used to kind of like that noise. That we used that on an album. I can't remember which one, but we actually sampled the sound of the AOL modem and we used it. But it was fun, man. Mark Kilborn on YouTube says it was the Wild Wild West. It was. I loved it. And, I used to love those chat rooms in the beginning. They were so much fun. They were so weird. I met people through there that I'm friends with, which is kind of cool. So yeah, BBS. I remember that too. All that stuff. Oh my God, MSN. Oh gosh. I used MSN to communicate with friends that I had in South America back in 2010. We've come so far when you think about it. ICQ, gosh. Exactly. But, at the same time, those sites are still, all those things are still out there. And I think it's terrible to deprive our culture as a human culture everywhere the ability to see these things, to see what it was really like, because then what we're doing is rewriting history. We're saying that it was never like this. It was like this, which is why, we got rid of it. So now you can't see what it was like. To me, I'm not a big fan of revisionist history, regardless of whatever political agenda it seeks to solve. It's not going to work. People will follow, they will go down rabbit holes, whether it's on either, when I say spectrum, I want to say left and right, but there's actually more than that. On any side of the planet that you happen to have an ideology, could be, far right, far left, communist, socialist, capitalist, whatever you are, there's going to be a segment of this old knowledge that is important to you. And none of it should be taken away from anyone. It should be there for all of us to see, disagree with, agree with, enjoy, disapprove of, find disgusting. Some things are going to be appalling, but it's our history. So how do we protect it? Well, in thinking about it, I went back to my old thought on archiving things on decentralized blockchains. I think the Internet Archive should start using decentralized sources that can't be sued because they're everywhere. They already use torrents. I don't know if you know that. They do. So, J Money says, what was wild about the internet in the early 90s? Because there were crazy sites and nobody paid attention to rules. So everything was crazy. And it was more fun to look for band sites then than it is now. Now everybody's sites looks almost the same. So it was like a hodgepodge of creativity. And yeah, as Todd says, you could find anything and everything completely unrestricted. Yep, exactly. Zach says, best part of the .com world was you could drive by a company or building, put in the URL, and it was like, oh, cool. Now I know what they do. Now you would find their Facebook page and find a bunch of weird posts on the lunch they eat before you find like what they're really about, So, yeah, they are, including me. Like, I mean, look, the world got easier and look, a lot of people can't code. So yeah, of course, everybody started, Jim, boobies. Well, that's still the case. You still find that on the internet. That's never going to go away. You can find that on the safe sites. But, for some reason, Claudio says, for some reason, I feel like watching Stargate after this. You know what's funny? I think I'm going to watch a sci-fi film after the stream tonight. I think I am. I think I owe it to myself to do that. But I digress. And yes, I've been drinking quite a bit of this. I may have to make another one before the night is through. But to all 78 of you that are watching, thank you for being here tonight. I hope you're enjoying this topic. I hope you're enjoying this little conversation we're all having and, going back and forth with the music. So speaking of the music, let's play something before someone gets mad at me here. So this one was requested by, in fact, Todd Livingston on Meta. He had requested this version of Fast Forward that I hadn't played in a long time. And I have to tell you, Todd, when you brought this one up, I was like, I forgot about this mix. We need to put this one out. This mix should go out. So that's something that's going to happen because I'm going to be putting a lot more stuff out on Spotify land and all that stuff. You'll see it on a more regular basis as certain conditions are met with other things going on here. But yeah, definitely. So this is for Todd. I'll turn on the UFO cam for this one so you can make fun of me and the glitchy globe. This is Polaroid. Oops. Blah, blah, blah. What did I just say? Fast Forward. The seeming mix. Now I sound like Biden. I love. Most people won't understand this, but I'm gonna explain it here for those that are just tuning in. I love the chat more than I like me speaking on this microphone and talking to y'all. No, not talking to y'all. Blech, came out wrong. What I'm saying is, I love the chat. I love being in the chat more than I like speaking. So half the fun is our chat, which is quite nice. We don't have many trolls, and it's just fun. Everyone's very respectful, and I know we come from all different walks of life, and I love how everyone gets along here. So it's something that really, really makes me happy. If I can sound a little bit, sappy. But man, I forgot to find something here. Oh, wait, maybe I do have it. Hold on, I'm going to find something here that's on the Internet Archive that will surely. So let's see if it pops up. Oh, well, look at here. It did pop up. So a while back, I was going to play a little joke on all of you. And I had started to do this, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to show you. I'll put the link so you guys can see it on your own, but I'm going to put it on the I'm going to put it on the cap here so you can see it. Hold on. OMG. Look what's in there. So yeah, I have a profile on the Internet Archive, and this is what I put in there in February. That was my one and only true AI picture. Aliens took my dog. And the reason that's there is that I was going to see how you can see this little guy right here. There's going to be another one right next to it, which is going to be the audio that goes with that. And I love it. I love it that 38 people in the entire world saw it, and it's not like any other post. So expect to find weird things in the archive as time goes on. But what I would love is to see the archive embrace the Web3 technology, because then it would be difficult to, if they turned everything they did into an app, let's say like object.com, it would be very difficult for people to go after them, because it's a book that can't be deleted. No matter what happens, it will never be deleted. So even if, let's say, they fought the good fight and someone was able to, quote, make them go broke, it doesn't delete the information that's there. And that to me is the big one. And that's one of the reasons why decentralization is so frowned upon by so many people in the corporate world, is that they know that there's no way to delete the information once it's there, unless you destroy the entire internet. But you would have to destroy it. You can't just like, we're going to shut down this computer and this site. Too bad, it's on the blockchain. That means that all of us have this information in our wallets, and we could recreate it somewhere else, especially if the stuff's on chain, which is why I'm like so passionate about this technology, and why I've always been, ever since I found out about it, I've been so like extremely bullish on it, is that it preserves these types of things. Now, by the same token, yeah, you could say, well, I mean, Claude, you're going to have Living in Oblivion on there one day, and then you're not going to get royalties from it anymore. Could be. It could happen. I mean, someone could do it. I'd have to live with it, but I just can't. I can't wrap my head around like wanting to stop someone from having something, rather than keeping it to myself. And that's why, like, I preferred like to give away certain things and not worry about it. You know, like last week, like, I'll give you an example, and, you know, well, mum's the word on the song title here, but last week we were talking about a song that I cannot release. I wanted to. I wanted to release this particular remix, but I could not do it. So I gave it to all of you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my Instagram, look around, poke around in my Instagram. You'll see a post that says Bandcamp exclusive. You'll understand. So, but that's my point, is that I can give away things, and I will do it. As time goes on, I think you'll see a lot more things that I'll give away, and I don't mind. So long as I can still make a living from my art, from doing other things like shows, books, 12-inch records, art prints, selling a canvas or something. These things are still going to be okay with me, to keep me sustained. Whereas I'm not going to worry too much that, some poor guy in Bulgaria decided he really loves living in oblivion and is going to, put it on the Internet Archive so other Bulgarians can have it. I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. So like I said, it is a conflicting point of view, because on the one hand, of course, I want to protect my intellectual property. That's funny. I'm watching your chats and I'm getting distracted, but I love the chats. So if you are watching this tomorrow or the next day on YouTube, be sure to look at the chats. I wish the chats from everywhere were archived, because that would be kind of fun too. But unfortunately, it doesn't let me do that. I wish I could save the chats. I would definitely publish them. But yeah, these archives, they're amazing. It's funny, is on the Internet Archive, I actually found the old fan forum, and I was able to go in, and I was actually able to see all the posts. So that was fun. So anyway, I digress. And look at here. Oh boy. I think this one's stronger. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Oh, man. So, anyway, let's play a song. So, I showed you this. So that'll be your visual for the song I'm about to play. This is the slightly longer version of Aliens Took My Dog. Nobody requested this. This was a Claude Quest. But I'm going to put this song right next to this picture on the Internet Archive within the next 24 hours. It will be there. And you'll be able to just grab it.
It's not easy being me.
Alien took my dog last night in my pickup truck. They took him by the hand and left him on my sister. I want that dog back on the side. I want him back again. Stupid aliens, they said they won't bring him back again. But I want him back again. They won't want him back again.
So there you go. I couldn't see the chat at the same time, but yeah. So I'll put that song on there, and you can find it on the Internet Archive. And that's the only place it'll be. I don't think I'm going to put it anywhere else. So be prepared, because Anything Box is going to go crazy, and I'm going to leave you little tidbits everywhere, all over the world. It's going to be the wild, wild west all over again. I promise you. It's going to be fun. I already got my hands in certain remixes and things, and I'm like, where's that going to go? But anyway, I digress. Of course I do. Oh, that's so funny. I know, right? My only 100% AI photo. Oh yeah, ABOX geocaching on the web is going to be fun. My says, or I'm agreeing. Oh, Wendy says my typing sucks. My typing absolutely sucks to begin with. What is the dark internet? The dark web? The dark web, actually, it's a misnomer. It's just an area of the web where nefarious sites exist and you need special browsers to access it. It's still pretty much a wild, wild west when it comes to that stuff, but there's a lot of scary stuff there. So I don't know that I would go there for that matter. So I would say that the internet in the 1990s was not the dark web, but it was the shades of gray web. It wasn't very dark. Yeah, that's right. It was Dan. That's right. Steve. I'm fully drank. Steve says, always like how Dan starts out that song. Exactly. Yeah. My friend Dan was in the studio, and that we were talking about like country music, and we were gonna try. So funny. But yeah. So this is another request, since that was a short one. This one was requested by, where am I? Sorry. Because I have a few here. Oh. So this one was requested by Sherry Bell on Instagram. This one, I wasn't going to play it because I couldn't find a proper version, because I think that when I did it on the stream, I did it live. And there was no recording, I thought, with an old vocal on it. But what I found interesting about this one was the words, but you'll barely be able to make them out because this is a really old demo. But this song is called The Crash of 2029. The newer version of this song was called The Crash of 2049. But this one, the file itself was called The Crash of 2029. Oddball song with very odd lyrics. I plan to finish this one because I was actually looking at the multi-track tape today. I still call it that. And it's intact. Everything is there. I just have to kind of sit down with the song. So this could see the light of day before the year's out. But it's such an odd song to begin with. But here we go. This is for Sherry Bell. Thank you for requesting this. This is a weird one for sure. I'll keep the moon chat open and we'll just chat. This is The Crash of 2029. Yeah. I couldn't find the one I'd played before because I think I did it live because it had a much better vocal on it than the demo. But hey, it is what it is. This is what I do. I play demos, remixes, weird and I'm quite enjoying myself tonight. But I want to say before we continue, thank you so much for being here, all of you. All of you, seriously, thank you so much for being here. I am looking forward to the shows. I am looking forward to new material. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but new album's out. So, and it's doing well. I'm like really happy. I was quite surprised actually how well it's actually doing, which is great. It makes things, ooh, that's funny. J Money says, and another subject, I never pay attention to Rush, but I found a copy of Rush on vinyl signals, and I love it. Yeah, see? This is what happens. This is how we find new music. So yeah. Be prepared. Things are coming. Good, bad, in between. Well, hopefully from ABOX, good, but I can't guarantee that everything I do is going to be loved or whatever. I can't expect that, I don't, which is good. It's good to have the expectation that I'd rather have the expectation that people aren't going to like what I'm doing and then be surprised that they like it than to think they have to love it and then, be terribly disappointed. But, yeah, but, we have to protect these little seemingly innocuous sites that do such a great job at preserving this ephemeral part of our past because it is fleeting. I think back, like I was looking at some of the films today that I was going through some of the films on the Internet Archive, and it's like a treasure trove of stuff. And I just realized like half these people are dead. Half their families are dead. And the only way their legacy lives on is for us to enjoy this stuff. So for me, it's like, wow, like how could you want to hide that away, Ooh, thank you, Jim. Jim says, I'm giving a track or two from Other Versus a spin on my show this Sunday again. Ooh, thank you. Thank you for that. I hope you're enjoying it. Anyway, I hope I'm not being too boring here and too maudlin. Now that I've had like 2 cocktails, it doesn't take much for me. Seriously. If I did more than 2, I'd be like under the table. The second one was stronger than the first. The first wasn't as strong. Thank goodness. But yeah, I'm like, oh, feeling loopy. That's why everybody's tuned in. So I better play a song. Because we don't have that much left, so I want to make sure that I get everybody's songs in and all that good stuff. But this one's for Alfonso. Now he picked one that I had played before, but I found this one sort of interesting because it's so bizarre. This one comes straight out of the Quarren streams. So this particular mix that I'm going to play is Polaroid, but it's from my DJ set that I did during 2020. I had done a DJ set that was sort of like an online thing, and you can find this one on Spotify somewhere, but the songs aren't individual. It's just the entire DJ set, which I believe is about an hour long. That was my allotted time. It was an hour, but this is the Farmacia Polaroid mix, but it's not quite their mix either. It's an in-between. I thought this would be a fun one to listen to tonight, thinking of, old ephemeral things and odd bits. So I'll turn on the visuals and enjoy yourself.
Life, death, life, death, life, death, life, death.
Ha! Whoops. Dead air, dead air, dead air. I was going to type, I think I will make this a download too. Sure. I'll make that a download. That you can just grab that song. In fact, I have some ideas. I have got ideas. Well, I'm actually really anxious to get back to the book. To give you a quick recap on the week, just a quick thing before we end it for tonight. Next week, I am going to be probably MIA from social media because I'm going to be like headstrong into the book to try to finish it up because I really think I have more than enough now. I was at 60 something percent and now I'm back to 65 because I rejected a few pieces, but it's the way it works. But it's going to be cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you. J Money says 4 years of quarantine shows. Yes, man, it's been so long, huh? So, yeah, I've been doing this thing since 2020. Holy jeez. Jeez Louise, man. But we're doing good. We're doing good. And I'm happy. I'm happy that you're still here doing these with me. And look, I promise, at least once a month, I will reconvert this entire room so that I could do a live set. So for those that, can't afford the shows or can't go to the shows or, like you're at a different country and you want to enjoy like the closest thing to an ABOX show, I'm going to try to do at least one rehearsal a month in this room on the stream, where the sound will be really good and all that. Can't promise that the voice will be really good because I can't stand singing with headphones, but that is the price I must pay if I do that here. For now. Next year, who knows? I'll be doing it out of my house and then we will see like weirder things. But anyway, and I do want to reiterate one last point that I made in the very beginning. If you got this far, please in the comments on the YouTube channel or X or anywhere you're at, you can give me tons of criticism and pointers on how I can make this better. Like, what do you want to see? Or what don't you like? That might be even better. What don't you like about it? Because I would like to keep the stream going, but I want to make it more fun for you or more interesting. So maybe it's a topic we're missing. I don't know. So let me know what the... yeah. Oh my gosh. It's been a minute since you posted that video about the guy in the alley. You mean the guy with the crossbow? We haven't seen him around for a while. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. The whole tacos and polka would be nice. Tacos would go really well with the drink I'm having. On an empty stomach, no less, which is not helping it's not helping matters. Oh, man. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a request from Wendy, who wanted to hear Need, and from Electrodelica, which this one is the weird one. And from what I saw, I thought it's really weird. I think I played this on the same stream number, but last year, unless I'm completely wrong. Feel free to correct me, but from what I saw on my folders, it looks like this was played last year, but I could be wrong. This is Need, but it's called the drum box version. And this one has this weird, like this came straight off of a DAT that was lying around in the studio. Oh, I forgot to tell you one last thing about my capture device. The capture device that I ordered is also good for connecting to things like VHS machines and all that. I've done that with the computer. I have a capture card in the computer, but it's not quite the same as this other thing that I have. And I'm going to be going through all the old ABOX shows that are on VHS. I still haven't digitized all of them. And there may be a few in there that are really, really cool. So I'm going to try to dig one of those up as soon as this thing comes in. And then that'll be something for one of the streams. Because I know those you guys like. If you haven't watched any of those, I would definitely recommend searching for the Peru shows and the Mexicali one. I know we did that one. There's a Chicago one that's really, really cool, worth seeing. And of course, there's some New Jersey ones as well. But anyway, gonna let you go with Need, the drum box mix. And I will see you all hopefully next week. And we shall meet again. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. I do, I do, I do.
This is just a little song to keep you warm. You can listen while I'm gone, just in time to keep you strong. In this song I will remain, always here to ease your pain. So I leave a little song to keep you warm. So I leave a little song to make you strong. Always there inside your heart, till the end, until the start.